Hi, I'm Joss.
Hi, I'm Claudia.
And this is the Let's Get Down to Business podcast.
We're two cousins on opposite ends of the globe with a lot of opinions about figure skating.
And we're here to deliver the news, recaps, and scour my toddler's dinosaur board books to try and figure out which dino species Sasha Trusova's spikes belong to. Hello. We are back with our second Rostelecom Cup episode, and today we are going to be covering pairs and ladies.
And boy, this is a big one.
It is a big one. It's a real dinosaur of an episode.
Ha 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 ha.
I tried.
I've become a real positive influence on you for the really awful puns.
Oh no.
But we're going to start off this episode by covering a bit of news, but we're going to go through them quickly because we've got a lot to cover. So first up is that Tim Coletto finally received his Japanese citizenship.
Yay.
Which is so great, which means that he can compete for the Olympics for Japan, and Japanese citizenship process is notoriously hard to get. Like it's such a hard process, and there's so many things you need to go through. So we're so glad that Tim finally is a Japanese citizen, and he had a lovely post on Instagram and Twitter, thanking everybody and his wife, and it was just really lovely. So yay Tim.
Yeah, that'll be a much smoother process for the Olympic season. As someone who has been through the immigration process in the States, I do not wish this process on anyone, considering that the Japanese citizenship process is especially stringent. So yay Tim. So excited for him. I guess the next piece of news is significantly less joyous than that. We do have two athletes that withdrew from this weekend's competition. We have Anna Sherbakova, who withdrew at the last minute because apparently news outlets have reported that she has pneumonia and is recovering from pneumonia.
But not COVID.
Yeah, who really knows? I mean, COVID definitely has some pneumonia-like symptoms, so...
They're just not saying it's COVID.
Yeah, they're just not saying it's COVID. But speaking of COVID, unfortunately, Yevgenia Medvedeva has tested positive for COVID-19 and is in quarantine.
Oh no. She's going through so many health issues at the moment. She, had a post, talking about how she's going with her back injury, and she's reports are saying that she's in hospital or something, and she just says it's a really bad cold, and we're like,
Well, fortunately, she is back under the care of her world-renowned nutritionist, Eteri Tutberidze. More on that later. Boy.
Yes, world-renowned and qualified nutritionist.
World-renowned, qualified, many degrees nutritionist, Eteri.
She wears all the hats.
All them hats.
And our final piece of news is also not one that is very happy, but we do have to address it. It was the passing of Igor Moskvin, who was the husband of famed coach Tamara Moskvina. He passed away at the age of 91 due to, severe health problems. And boy, oh boy, he's had such an insane career. He's coached incredible people such as Tamara Moskvina herself and Alexei Mishin, Igor Bobrin, Vladimir Kotin, Kyoko Ina, and John Zimmerman. So many people. And of course, he worked with Moskvina's current stars, Alexandra Бойкова and Dmitry Kозlовский, as well as Anastasia Mishina and Alexander Galyamov. He was such an influential person in the skating, sphere, and especially in Russia. And just the quote that Tamara gave was it's so heartbreaking. She said, "Today I lost the closest person in my life, and I could sit quietly in my room and cry. But for sure he would have told me, Tamara, you trained the guys together with other specialists. Go and finish your job, and I'll wait for you."
Oh, stop. So sad.
Stop. Oh my God. They're both legends in their own right, and this was just... this was so sad. And Tamara was away at a competition with her students when it happened, and it was all just, Our condolences go out to Tamara, all of her students who also worked with Igor, and just the whole family and friends. Just, yeah.
Oh man, that's heavy. Why don't we move into the competition, please?
Yes.
Let's do that. Why don't we start off with pairs at Rostelecom Cup? I guess the first kind of general note that I have to make is that this is a very different flavor than Skate America. I think all the American pairs should take side-by-side jump meets.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think Russian pairs really is at such like a high caliber that, as we can see in this competition, the smallest blips make all the difference. And again, like I was saying, really different energy from the pairs competition at Skate America. All that we could talk about there was like, you guys should line up and drill side-by-side jumps with Alyona Savchenko.
That's so true. So true. But it's so interesting because Russian pairs has had a little bit of a dip in their, you know, quality and competitiveness over the past couple of seasons. But judging by this field, oh my God, they are back.
Yeah, they really are back. I think especially the top 4 pairs here, just such high quality skating here.
Yeah, so how about we start off with our pewter medalists, even though they don't give out pewter medals in Russia. But it is Yasmina Kadrieva and Ivan Balchenko. She is 15, he is 21. She is so cute. She is so small.
Yeah. So their short program was to Memoirs of a Geisha. And honestly, I'm never really a fan of vague martial arts style programs done to Memoirs of a Geisha. You know, like, did you do work and consult with folks who actually identify with the community of the ethnicity and culture of music that you're skating to? We never know.
But Memoirs of a Geisha is like, you know, the whitewashed version. And like, people are like, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah. So every time I see a Memoirs of a Geisha program being skated, I'm like, okay, I just kind of set myself up for that. But I just feel like there's such a difference between the intricacies of the types of martial arts, depending on like which country or even which province, area, or region they come from. But I mean, anyways, yes, they did a Memoirs of a Geisha program.
And the costumes like didn't really seem reflective of memoirs, but they were pretty.
They were pretty.
They were pretty.
I will give them that.
And yeah. Okay. One thing I do have to note is that their coaches love doing the whole like choreography to get their pairs into the starting positions. And I don't know whether to love it or to cringe.
I mean, it happens. We'll just say that it happens.
Oh yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. But their short program, they had a big throw triple twist. They did side-by-side triple flips, which we don't really see that often, but that was really, really cool. They had a throw triple loop that was like, I was like, yeah, good job. What did you think of them? Because I certainly think that they've got potential, but they do definitely need to clean up a few things here and there.
Yeah, I think that I did note that I was surprised to see the side-by-side triple flips in the short, but not the free. I think that's a really interesting choice, and usually that is not the case. But yeah, definitely just some things to clean up here and there. I think they have so much potential. Their side-by-side jumps looked great. Their throw jumps looked great. Just number one, not really a huge fan of Memoirs of a Geisha programs in general. And just kind of the little things here and there with them.
True, but I did actually like their free program a lot better. It was to Angel and Devil by Maxime Rodriguez. She's dressed as the devil, he's dressed as the angel. I love this role reversal type deal thing going on. They had another choreographic moment to enter their starting position, which at this point I was just like, okay. Like all of, you know, the coaches' other teams all did it as well, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is campy.
This is such a Maddie Ziegler from seasons 1 and 2 of Dance Moms.
No, it is. It is. That walk.
Yes, the walk.
That walk
the
onto
signature
stage
walk.
and off stage.
Yes.
And you're just like...
I feel like all this choreo to enter their starting position is just so seasons 1 and 2 of Dance Moms. And maybe Kendall from seasons 3, 4, and 5 as well.
Oh, it's big Kendall vibes. It's just Jill vibes.
Jill vibes.
I feel like it's very Jill vibes.
Little Kendall finally got a solo.
But anyway, Yasmina and Ivan, they did side-by-side triple sal, Euler, triple sals, which was like, bam, okay. But they were out of sync, so it didn't really, deliver the impact I guess they wanted to. They've got a good base to work on. Obviously, they're strong technically, but, what they really need to work on, in my opinion, is delivering and getting into character. But I'm sure that that'll come with time and, as the partnership matures.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the little things. One thing that I noted was that he looks like he was kind of like struggling with the throws. Like I think that he could just like look like the throws in general could just look a lot more seamless, whether or not they actually are. You know, put the face on, you know.
True.
Put the face on.
Yeah.
I just thought that this whole free skate was just like super dramatic. I was like, oh, the drama. She's here.
I love it though. I love the church bell music opening. I was just like, ooh, we're getting into it.
It was great. No, I really enjoyed it. I think it's, again, just kind of like little things, you know, put the face on when you throw her, you know, even if it's hard. We know it's hard. You're throwing someone into the air and they have to land their jump, right? But just put the face on.
But yes, no, they did great. I think that they're not at the level to compete with the top 3 teams, but yeah, I'm excited to see how they progress because I think they're a bit of a diamond in the rough at the moment.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them. Speaking of our top 3 teams, we are going to talk about our team in the bronze medal position.
Apollinaria Panfilova and Dmitry Rylov. So this is their first year senior, and whoever followed the junior circuit 100% knows that these two are a force to be reckoned with. They've got insane pairs elements, and so I think we are all very excited to see how they do on the senior stage, and they made their impact here, I would say.
Yeah, they were very solidly third. Definitely way kind of under the gold and silver teams. They were a little over 15 points under Mashina and Galyamov, but their throw jumps are huge. I was like, is she gonna hit the ceiling? Ma'am, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, both the throw twists and the throw jumps. It's insane. Okay, anyway, let's get into their ISU Bio hobbies, because this I feel is very reflective of their personalities from what we see, at least on the ice. Her ISU Bio hobbies are makeup. His ISU Bio hobbies are music.
Sometimes I just wonder, you know, sometimes I wonder what's happening when they write these bios.
They're very stern people. I feel like Misha Kolyada would be a great uncle to them.
Oh my gosh, they could have like a little clubhouse, like a little like club.
A clubhouse of like stern kids.
The Stern Club.
However, what was not stern was their short program music, which was to music from The Joker and Birds of Prey. And their costumes are like, they've got some real quality, like Halloween level costumes going on. I like them quite a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of almost driving to Spirit Halloween territory, though. I was like, this is very literal Joker and Harlequin costumes going on here.
And this is a new short program for them. And to be honest, it's probs not my favorite short program of theirs.
No, not my favorite.
It needs
either.
so much work on the PCS side. Because, I mean, this is like really upbeat and, you know, punchy music, and you have Apollinaria and Dmitry like absolutely stone-faced.
Yeah, they could definitely also use a put your face on moment here.
But they have a face. It's called Stone Face.
They're like the Solemn Sisters. That'll be their club name, the Solemn Sisters.
That is definitely their club name. But where they really had an opportunity to shine was their free skate. And this is their free skate from last season. It is called No One Ever Called Me That by Dario Marianelli. It's from the Third Person soundtrack. And boy, oh boy, do I love that they've kept this program. Because also, that means that they've kept their costumes, which means we get to see her skirt absolutely engulf her when she gets chucked into that triple twist. And it's just, you just see her skirt, and it's so nuts. The pictures that come out of it are insane.
It's great. I love it. I saw some wild looking photos, but like, they're amazing. I love it. I love the costumes.
The ISU commentator said like magical triple twist. And I'm like, oh yeah, I agree.
Truly
but
magical.
One thing that might keep them from really hitting the top pairs is that, okay, nobody can deny that they are amazing with their pairs elements. The throws, the throw twists, you know, anything that is like a pairs element, they're amazing in. But when it comes to their individual skills, like side-by-side jumps and spins, or like just skating skills, they're comparatively very weak. She fell on the side-by-side triple sow. He's got the weirdest, jump entry into a double axel I've ever seen. It's just very odd.
They lost a lot of points on that side-by-side sow because he popped it and she fell. So they had so many deductions there.
Yeah, they're really weak individually, which it sucks because honestly, if you're talking about pairs elements, I'd have them in gold over Бойкова and Koslovsky and Misha and Galyamov because it's truly magnificent. It's just +5s across the board, really. Their triple twist gets... here, one judge gave them a +4 while everyone else gave them a +5. I'm like, dude, what are you watching? Like, can you get any better than this triple twist? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, things really started to fall apart in the second half here. Their final pair spin was also kind of sloppy.
Yeah, the bobble.
Yeah, there was a significant bobble there. Yeah, the second half was just really, really kind of fell apart, and they had that significant points difference that I was talking about earlier because of that. I really like the program, but I think that they need to work on those elements.
100%, and especially, their PCS, because Stoneface doesn't help the PCS score. Ksenia Stolbova at least had her PCS and she could perform, but she also had that death stare, and I feel like Apollinaria also has the same death stare, but like not any of the other performative qualities that Ksenia has. But, they're 17 and 19. I keep forgetting that because their elements are just so amazing. They're not actually that much younger than our top 2 pair teams, but I feel like they've got a lot more maturing to do.
I agree, and maybe they could exit the club for a little while. Maybe they can be like mild-mannered sisters instead of solemn sisters when they skate. Just on the ice, though. They can
mild-mannered.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our silver medalists of the event, and that is Anastasia Mishina and Alexander Galyamov. She's 19 and enjoys cooking and reading, and he's 21 and enjoys football, music, and cinema.
Oh, cinema. That's a different word for movies.
Cinema, not movies. Yeah, but their short program was to Esmeralda, and they won the short program, and I think deservedly so. I absolutely love their short program.
Oh, love it.
It's just so great. They had a lovely throw triple flip. They hit all the accents in Esmeralda and incorporated some like famous moves from the ballet choreography, which I was just like geeking out over and really appreciating.
Oh my gosh, I noticed that too. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the choreography. I love it.
Yeah. But their coach is Tamara Moskvina. Like, of course that will be in there.
Of course. Duh. Big duh.
And that end lift, stunning, where she's completely vertical / invert, like upside down vertical.
I just really liked it. I think that, like you were saying, deservedly so. They were first in the short program. We will talk a little bit more about Бойкова and Koslovsky's short program and why they were second there. But I guess moving on to their free skate, first of all, I think these costumes are a little strange. I think they're a little... So in our moms group, some people ask, like, how do I keep my toddler occupied on a long plane trip? And one of the tips that folks have, if any of you guys are parents, I think this would be actually very helpful for you, and it is relevant to the program, I promise. One of the tips that folks have is, like, you can bring a roll of painter's tape or like easy peel electrical tape, and you can just like stick it on the armrest or like stick it on the back of the person's seat so your toddler can peel it off. And this is what the shoulder area of his costume looked like. It looked like some mom had just kind of like pasted electrical tape just kind of like everywhere that she could on his shoulder area so a toddler could peel it off. Like, it just looks like it's like randomly placed electrical tape.
It does.
It's not a good look. I don't like it.
I thought Alexander's costume was looked like it was made from the cutoffs from Sasha Trusova's new dress, and I was just like,
it's possible.
It's very possible. And they have the same, like, in the short and the free, they're both wearing red. Like, it's just red throughout. And I was just like, are you bored of red, maybe?
There are other colors. Oh, maybe they are getting their costumes from the same primary color palette as Maurice from last episode.
True. Maybe, they've got the same designer as Andrei Mozolyov, who it's just, who knows what happens there. It's just the, this excess paint or cut-offs or whatever.
It's abstract. That's what we call it, right?
It is abstract Bohemian Rhapsody. But this program was not as clean as their short program, unfortunately. Anastasia popped the second Salchow in the planned triple Sal Euler triple Sal combo, and the pair combo spin looked pretty rough. I mean, the program is good, but compared to Бойкова and Koslovsky's free skate, I don't think it is as strong or as impactful.
Yeah, I think missing that 3-jump combo really cost them the points that it could have, they could have won with, because Бойкова and Koslovsky's 3-jump combo was a triple toe, double toe, and they hit that jumping pass, and Mashina and Galyamov did not, and I really think that cost them a lot of points in the free.
Definitely, and you could see that their mood dropped when they realized they weren't doing so well, which, it sucked. But I mean, Sasha really likes the rock a knee slide, and he gives it 150% every single time in both programs.
Regardless of whether or not he is wearing electrical tape, he will give it his all.
But yes, I think they know what they need to work on and polish. But yeah, it's tight competition, which I found the pairs competition in general really exciting because of the top two teams really, really battling it out.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of our top two teams, our gold medal winners were Бойкова and Koslovsky. Their short program was to... I find this title hilarious.
Okay.
Because it is so not a 2020 vibe. It's called Star of Captivating Happiness, and that's just not what's happening right now in the world.
Yes. Oh. So, starting off with their ISU bio hobbies, because these aren't as boring. Her hobbies are foreign languages and design, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And Dimitri's history, soccer, and tennis.
Oh, history.
Oh,
Dimitri.
And he didn't say sports and cyber sports. He said soccer and tennis.
Oh my gosh, we love a man who studies history.
Yes, we do. We also love a pair who has amazing costumes. I really like the costumes for this short program. And it's not a conventional, I first look at it and go, wow, amazing. But it's kind of like, wait, no. This is really, really awesome.
They are very good costumes. I enjoy them a lot. I do also enjoy, as a side note, the fact that she actually ate and enjoyed the sponsorship ice cream bars.
Oh, it was the best thing. So after their winning free skate, the camera goes to Sasha and Dimitri in kind of the green room area. And they don't realize the camera's on them. And Sasha's just eating the popsicle, just She has no qualms about anything, and she's just eating straight after her program. And then
I love it. Eat your popsicle, girl.
I know. And then Dimitri's just oh, the camera's on us. Yay, let's celebrate. And she's just wait, no, I'm still eating. And she's laughing, but
let her eat her popsicle.
Exactly.
Let the woman eat. It's free ice cream.
She was somewhat embarrassed, and I'm no, honey, you're such a mood. You are such a mood. So about their short program, it was a shame about the landing of their throw triple flip, but they rightfully led the night in PCS, but they lost out in the TES, and that's because they got a time violation.
Yes, they did. They also did not look very pleased after she had stepped out of that throw triple flip landing. I mean,
she was so devastated.
She was really unhappy.
Dimitri was
about
consoling her, and I'm honey, you didn't fall, but I think the competition between the top two teams is just so strong that any little mistake, like you said before, can really cost them the gold. So I think she really, really felt bad, but Dimitri was very sweet in consoling her.
He was very sweet. And like we were saying, the tiniest little things make a huge difference in the results, like we saw here. But in the free skate, they were basically perfect. Yes, their throw landings, the twist, and the jumps all give me a heart attack, but basically perfect.
But they got, for the opening side-by-side triple sals, they got 3+4s and 3+5s. And rightfully so, because their triple sals are just so on point.
Beautiful.
They are beautiful. The landing is held. You know, their lines, package, costume, elements, they're all there, including Бойковa's makeup, which was gorgeous and so well matched to her costume. It's a new costume. It's no longer the grey James Bond one. It's like now it's a lovely, what would we call it? Like purpley maroon type deal?
Yeah, kind of in the purple, burgundy, maroon family.
Burgundy, there we go. Yeah, burgundy. And Dimitri's got a bedazzled single shoulder gun holster, and I was just like, oh, okay. All right.
Very different from the electrical tape mood.
Very different.
Not an electrical tape moment happening here.
No, this program was so excellent and so strong. I loved Sasha's nod and point at the judges after the throw triple loop. I was just like, yeah, you go, girl. Yeah, and their lifts were great as well. It was a really good program. And although Dimitri caused some controversy afterwards, so afterwards when he was celebrating, he yelled something out, and it was after the final posture, and he says, "This is our place in line." And this is, by the way, this is translated, so I don't know whether this is exactly what it means, but he said that he, said that in reference to himself, just almost like a self-affirming statement, like, yes, we performed really well, this is where we're supposed to be, everyone else get in line. But to everyone else, it sounded really cocky and inappropriate, and there was a lot of talk about it. Yeah, that was interesting, but he said it was just for himself. But
as we say on the internets, maybe he should keep to the group chat. Maybe think before you press tweet.
Think before you press scream.
Not on the Bird app, Dimitri. Just keep it in the group chat.
Yes, but they did have a great skate and deservedly won the gold medal.
Yes. Congratulations. Their free skate was damn near perfect. It was so good.
I really like it too. I'm getting into stan territory for them, to be honest. I love them.
Stan territory. Maybe we could be in the group chat.
Maybe. Dimitri, add us to the group chat and you can yell whatever, because we probably can't understand it straight off the bat anyway.
Yeah, letsgetdownpod@gmail.com. We accept any group chat invites.
Yes, we do. Okay, so how about we move on to ladies?
Okay, so we're going to start the ladies off with eva-lotta from Estonia.
Okay, I really, really liked her in this competition. It was really refreshing to have, non-Russians compete, which it was great that she got the call up, because she originally was going to compete in the French Grand Prix, and obviously that was cancelled. But Russia was like, hey, come join us. And she was like, okay. And she's such a cutie. She's 17. Her ISU bio hobbies are cycling, camping, and hiking. And I was just like, oh, very, very Nordic. I like this. I like this.
I feel like this is such a, this is like a 27-year-old man from the Bay Area Bumble bio. I like cycling, camping, and hiking. And there's a picture of him with a fish that he has just caught.
But it's very Nordic. My best friend's from Denmark, and so I get all the Nordic stories. So, yeah, and apparently Estonia is absolutely gorgeous and I'd love to visit. But her short program was to Sign of the Times by Mr. Harry Styles. Are we sure that this wasn't just a song that was being played in the warm-up?
Okay, if the DJ popped off with Style by Taylor Swift and then played Harry Styles, I need your contact info, DJ. We could be really, really good friends. I promise. I'm a great friend.
I know. I was so excited when I saw Sign of the Times on here. I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here for it. But I wasn't here for the fact that her tights don't match her skin tone.
Oh, no. I noticed that too.
Honey. But her dress was so lovely. And she had a great triple toe. So all right, yeah, we good. But where she really made her mark was in her free skate. And she skated to our favorite classical music composition, Piano Concerto No. 2.
Oh, yeah. Fave.
Great fave. And she did very, very well. She was so excited with herself. And actually, she broke in the short program, so the top 6 ladies were all Russian. And she broke that in the free skate. She was just like, I'm going to slide right in there. And it was I really, really liked it because not only did she pretty much go clean, she also has a great Lutz with a really nice outside edge. You know, she just did well for herself, and you could tell how happy she was.
Yeah, for sure. She was definitely so happy. I was really happy that she basically skated this like as well as she could have. But the thing that really kind of got me was that, so this is a super home crowd with super home skaters that people have a lot of opinions about, obviously.
Yeah.
But like they were super supportive of her. They were like clapping to the rhythm. They were like cheering for her. I was like, this is the energy that we need. We love this positive energy.
I know, in the step sequence when, you know, the music goes dun 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 dun, and everyone was clapping along, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, vibes, vibes.
Yeah.
So I was really happy for her. I actually enjoy her quality. She's got gorgeous lines, clean looking jumps when they're on. I just feel like what she needs to work on is like the PCS and selling the choreo. But she's 17, and I think, you know, she'll definitely improve, you know, in that aspect. But I really enjoyed seeing her skate here.
Yeah, she needs that something. But, you know, a lot of room to improve, a lot of time for growth. I'm really glad that she was able to switch her Grand Prix assignment because, like, who the hell else has that possibility this season? Like, literally no one. So
I know. Okay, let's move on to a Russian, Sofia Samodurova.
Oh, our friend Sofia.
Sofia. Oh, our friend Sofia. All right, let's start with her short program, which was to Man with a Harmonica.
We also saw him last Rostelecom Cup episode with Andrei Mausoliev with his paint splattered shirt from the chest up.
Same man, same harmonica.
I said, this harmonica man, people must be really supporting his small business, which is great during these COVID times.
Exactly.
These unprecedented times. I feel like his small business is really booming. Also, side note, please support your local businesses through this holiday season.
Yes,
it could really make or break them. If you have the opportunity to not buy from a big box company like Amazon, please do so. Anyways, back to the skating.
Back to the skating. We could talk about that also for ages. But, okay, the first thing I noted with Sofia is that Mishin's mask just gets lower and lower and lower every single time he comes on screen. Like, it starts off with, like, just under his nose, and you're like, okay, we've seen you so many times not having your nose inside your mask. Okay, fine. And then you go, oh, it's just above the top lip. And then you're like, it is covering your bottom lip only. And then it's just like, it's only covering your chin.
Oh my gosh.
And then in the kiss and cry, it's just like, it's off completely. The progression, though, in the wrong direction.
Yes, it's not the correct progression.
So I still don't understand. Maybe you can shine some light on this. I still don't understand why Sofia has the Star of David on her forehead in this short program.
Oh. Okay, I read something about this. Apparently, I totally forget who, so I don't have the source, but apparently she's supposed to be some kind of alien?
Skating to the man with the harmonica?
I don't really know. I think either I read that somewhere or I'm totally making shit up. And I'm sorry for calling you an alien, but I swear to God I read that somewhere.
You know what? It was a decent skate from her. She did a triple flip, triple toe, but the triple flip got the exclamation mark and the triple toe was called on the quarter, which, I mean, she's been getting those calls for a while now, so... Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of improvement there. She does definitely get those calls for it. She has been getting those calls for a while.
But let's talk about her free program, because we did not see the free program at Russian test skates because she withdrew from illness, but she did show it in a couple of Russian Cup stages. But this is the first time probably a lot of people who didn't watch Russian Cup will see this free program. And boy, oh boy, there is a lot of music in here that I was like, what is going on?
I don't know what's happening in this free program. I tried to figure it out. I failed. What really was happening with the skating here is that she made a mistake on the opening jumping pass, the triple flip, triple toe, and then after that, it kind of just started falling apart more and more and more.
Yeah, she got triple flip with an exclamation mark, and the triple toe was called under. Her triple Lutz was called under. Her double flip, which she made a huge mistake on, had an exclamation mark and got a downgrade. Yeah, it just wasn't a great free skate for her. She came 8th in the free skate, and that really hit her hard. The first point that I made, though, was at the beginning, I was just like, oh, this music suits her really well. I like this choice for her. And then as soon as I finished typing that note, the music changed. And I was just like,
and then it gets like boring.
Because nothing happens. Nothing happens. It is truly so boring. And I was just like, this isn't a slow, section of the program. This is a dead section of the program. But then, at the end, her third piece of music, it really ramped up. But, okay. She's skating to, and I think this might just be an Australian reference. I'm not too sure. Somebody call me out if I'm wrong. But she's skating to the Banana Boat theme song. Like, the Banana Boat. It's 30 plus Banana Boat.
Wait, what is this? Is this Sunscreen?
Yes, this is Sunscreen. And she is skating to that melody, and I lost it. I lost it.
Oh my
I was like, you're skating to Sunscreen commercial music. It's like when Jeremy Abbott was skating to like a Pino Clean ad music, and I was just like, no, stop.
Total side note, wear your SPF, please, even on cloudy days. We're getting into the winter now, and folks are slacking on their SPF, so maybe this is just a reminder, since we're moving into the winter season, that you should keep wearing your SPF.
Yeah. Sophia's doing the whole PSA for everybody. She's doing it for everybody. But yeah, the free program just wasn't a great one for her, and that Lutz mistake looked like it really got to her and impacted the rest of the program.
Yeah, I think it really did. And the sad part was that I saw this on Twitter. She posted on her Instagram stories following this program this really sad thing, and it was like, sorry I skated poorly, just like right in the middle of the screen. I was like, oh, sweet girl. I know. I
actually recently, this is a complete off note, but I recently saw a picture, like a throwback picture of Sofia, Liza Tuktamышева, and Alexandra Бойкова as kids, and I was just like, oh my god, you're so cute. You're so adorable.
So cute.
But she was shorter than Liza Tuktamышева, and I was just like, no.
Aww.
I was like, when did this happen? Because Lisa is tiny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she has tall. Both of them have tall energy.
They do have tall
Actually,
energy.
all the folks that you just talked about in this photo have
100%,
tall energy.
100%. Okay, let's move on to another Russian skater who also exudes tall, elegant energy, in my opinion at least, and that is Elizaveta Nugumanova.
Oh, for sure, tall energy.
Yeah. She's 18 years old, and her ISU bio hobbies are dancing, music, and video shooting.
Oh, video shooting. Does she want to do some graphic design for us?
Yeah. Come do some videography for us. We'd love to have you, because you look like such a sweetie. You know what? I have such a soft spot for her. And that maybe is because when I was still skating, and when she was probably around 10, it was shared in the skating circles. Her dad used to take videos of her and post them on YouTube of her doing like triple lutz, triple loop, triple loop, triple loop. And everyone like in Australia was just like, oh my God, who is this Russian dynamo who's like, I don't know, like 50 million years younger than us, just popping off everything. And so since then,
That's so cute.
Since then I was like, I want to see where you go. And so I've got such a soft spot for her, and she's grown up to be such a beautiful skater. Although, technique-wise, she's subject to a lot of under-rotations and, double footing. But, whatever. I just like her.
Oh my gosh. We stan Mr. Nugumanova. What a cute dad.
So her short program was To the Bat by Johann Strauss. And, I love this music. I love it. I just wish she'd skate faster.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of speed. However, what she doesn't have in speed, she makes up with her beautiful lines, especially in her arms, her hands, and the rest of her upper body. It just makes it...
She's got such great deportment.
Yeah. Such nice carriage.
The way she carries herself.
Yeah, it just makes it like really pleasant to watch. And I feel like for folks who are maybe less well versed in skating, just getting into skating this season, like I feel like this is just like very pleasant to the eye, whether or not you actually like know the technique or not.
Yeah, I completely agree. She did double foot the triple loop, which is her signature combo. But I'm just so glad she got the call up to compete in Rostelecom because she took the place of Evgenia Medvedeva when she withdrew. Yeah, I'm just happy that she got the call up to a Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely. Her free skate was interesting. We had music by Zayn Malik and Sia. There's a lot of discourse around Sia right now. We won't get into that, but not a fan of her choices.
Yeah.
If you must know.
Yeah. So it was also to the Mountain Between Us soundtrack.
Yeah, this is not my favorite program on her. I think that she could definitely use some better choreography. She looked...
Oh, I said that too.
Yeah, she looked really nervous when she was jumping. I think that all of her jumping passes, I could just kind of like see this really just kind of like kind of look on her face, but she does really come to life in the step sequence.
She does. And this dress is so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I want to steal it straight off her. Sometimes simple is just better.
I totally agree. I really enjoyed the short program costume too, by the way.
Yeah. She definitely does have good costumes. But yeah, the jumps were slightly disappointing. The triple Lutz was called under and double-footed, and then the triple loop was given a complete downgrade. She ended up in 5th place overall. So I think that was a really good effort from her.
Yeah, definitely. I had really just a good time watching her, even though, you know, the jump was under-rotated, the jump was downgraded. I understand, but I just enjoyed watching her.
Yes, and she's such a sweetie. Like, after Sasha Trusova's free program, and we'll talk about Sasha later on, of course, but she went into the locker room and she was just like, oh, Sasha, don't be upset. You know, you're the best and, you know, do the most complex jumps out of all of us. Like, you're going to be fine. And I was just like, oh my God, you're such a sweetie.
What a nice human.
You're so
Imagine
sweet.
being a nice human to these people, unlike
Imagine.
the people on the internet.
Oh, and the people in the crowd, and we'll talk about that later. But Lisa Nugamanova, we love you. You're so gorgeous and sweet. It's great. All right, so next up, we're gonna talk about Anastasia Guliakova. She's 18. She's coached by Alexei Mishin, and she was our surprise bronze medalist for this event. Let's start off with her short program. It was to Scheherazade. Now, I think I paid more attention to her ponytail than I did to her skate.
Yeah, not really my favorite program of the night, that's for sure.
The dress looked more like a mermaid dress, like she could have been skating to Little Mermaid. It didn't really look like a Scheherazade dress, but, you know, the thing that Anastasia is really good at is pulling off, you know, all the jumps and all the spins with good enough quality. Like, she's got good technique. It's all there, and she's really there when other people, you know, miss on the day.
I think that this was a really solid outing for her. She was our surprise bronze medalist. I personally prefer the short program to the free skate, and I'll talk about the free skate in like 5 seconds here. But I did want to note that she did have a triple axel attempt earlier in the season. I think it would be so interesting to see what the standings would be in Rostelecom had she like hit a triple axel. And I know that's a lot of like what ifs, right? Like we can say like, what if everyone hit a triple axel, right? But like she has attempted it, and I think that it would have made it so much more interesting. Like that top 3 would have been like, I don't even know what would have happened had she attempted or landed one.
Her free program was to Don't Say You Do and Real Boy by Lola Blanc. And, you know, good girl for hitting all of your jumps. But for me, this music doesn't really do much for like a competitive program.
I was so confused by this music. So 2 episodes ago, in our Budapest Trophy and Cup of China episode, we talked about Daniil Grossel and how he had Pinocchio energy. And all I could think of when the Real Boy music was playing was like,
Yeah?
I'm gonna make you a real boy, just like a real
No.
And I was like, why are we skating to Pinocchio? Is this Pinocchio? But then, like 2/3 of the way through the free skate music, there was like some spoken word, and I was like, why are we playing Gabby and Guillaume's music here? Why is there spoken word? I'm so confused. What is this music? What is this choreography? I just don't understand anything happening here.
Oh, neither do I. But I don't know. Like, you can't deny that she's got the technical content to stay up with the rest of the field. But for me, she just doesn't have the X factor that, you know, pulls you in and keeps you pulled in. even if she does attack her jumps really, really well.
Yeah, I think that, as much confusion as I had with the free skate, which is a lot, I think that she really skates with a lot of conviction.
She does.
I think that even if no one knows what the heck is going on, she's like,
she
but
knows.
I'm doing it.
She
and
knows.
We're like, oh, okay. She knows.
Very
that's
true.
all that matters, right?
But yeah, I think she herself said she was surprised that she got the bronze, but, obviously she's very happy. And we are happy for her as well because she really, made the best of the opportunity that was out there. Because our lovely Alexandra Trusova
Oh my goodness.
did not do so well this competition.
I mean, her short program was pretty good.
Okay, first off though, her ICU bio hobbies are so typical of Sasha. It's reading, spending time with her family, and her dogs Tina and Lana.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Sasha.
Of course the dogs. Like every other, like 90% of the other Russians are just like music, reading, cinema, and she's just like, my dogs Tina and Lana.
Yeah, we love Tina and Lana. Tina and Lana Trusova.
We do. Absolutely. So her short program is to Love Story by Lola and Hauser and Appassionata by Secret Garden. She's got that gorgeous green dress on her. Okay, but I feel like she's going to break an ankle in those boots.
Yes.
I honestly do. Whenever we see her do quads and triple axels that don't turn out exceptionally well, and even the ones that do turn out well because she lands them, I'm like, your ankles, like, this didn't really happen last season, but I've been noticing it this season. I'm like, what's happening? Like, please either get stronger ankle support in your boots or like tape those babies up so strong. Grab some electrical tape from Alexander Galyamov and chuck them on your skates. Like, because I fear for her ankles.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, ooh, that looks dangerous. Doesn't look supportive.
Okay, the triple axel in the short program, the big statement piece. It looked to me as if, she entered it, as she was going in, she was like, okay, yeah, triple axel time. And then once she got in the air, she's just like, oh, no, I want to pop this jump, I want to bail. And you can kind of see her arms, like if you really look really closely, her arms were very typical of the whole, all right, I'm going to pop this jump. But then I feel like she switched in her mind and was just like, oh shit, I can't pop this jump, and tried to pull in, but then she was already coming down and it was too late. That was a lot. I feel like that's what went through her mind though, because that triple axel just did not work out.
Yeah, it really did not work out. However, I think that with any mistakes that she made, maybe the excitement from her coach, Evgeny Plushenko, may lift her spirits a little bit because, wow, was he ever so excited. I turned to my husband and I was like, is he reciting her his autobiography? Because I truly have never seen him animated to this degree. And I feel like that's something that he would get this hype about, is if he was reciting his autobiography to Sasha Trusova.
Okay, with what I'm going to say next, it's absolutely true. Like, Plushenko was really waxing lyrical in the Kiss and Cry about how beautiful Sasha skated and how beautiful her lines was. It was all so beautiful. And that definitely is something he'd say in his autobiography. And he's just such a Sasha stan. And I don't know, I feel they're the same person. Like mentally, they're the same type of person. And I think that's what gets Plushenko so excited. But okay. Sasha got a exclamation mark on a triple flip, which fair enough, but we'll also talk about how such edge calls weren't so fair because they didn't get brought up for other skaters. But okay, Sasha's PCS were higher than Lisa's PCS for the short program. What do you think about this?
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I was like,
okay, so her short program is much improved. It shows, Sasha on a different level. I think Yelena Jelinek did a wonderful job with this short program, especially in the step sequence, makes Sasha's skating skills look so much better. But do I really agree that her PCS would be higher than Lisa's? I don't think so.
No, I don't really either. And, politicking. I can see it.
Yeah, politicking. All right, let's move on to the ill-fated Romeo and Juliet free program.
This program. First of all, no matter what we say about her program here, I just want to let you all know that I think she's going to be fine. She competed with this program a couple of weeks ago. She skated really well. A lot of people on the internet are like, is this the end of it? I'm like, no. She skated this like a million times before. She's going to be perfectly fine. Like, there was this one time, it was at Russian Nationals last season, where she totally fell apart in her Game of Thrones program. And look at her now. Like, she's fine. She's going to be fine. That's what I wanted to say before we talk about this program.
The girl is stubborn enough. Like, the girl is stubborn enough. She'd probably go to another practice rink and drill out 50 million quads just to prove to herself and the 0 audience members that she can do it. Like, the girl will be fine. She's got that whole thing about, like, you know, if she doesn't skate well, she'll just come back charging. Like, I'm pretty sure she wanted to stay out on the ice and was just like, can I do it? Can I do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Can I do my quads
She totally
again?
has that attitude. So she's going to be great.
Yeah. Even though she was injured. Like, she'll be fine, ladies and gents. Like, she survived through her growth and, like, growing taller. She's got strong enough technique that her quads, you know, are gonna stay. But they're also quad jumps. Like, ladies and gents, let's remember this.
Yeah.
But, all right. First and foremost, though, or second foremost, what do you think of this new costume?
Oy, like I was saying in our very, very intro packet, I was like, why are there suddenly spikes? I was like, what purpose does this serve in either the makeup of the program or the storytelling? I was like, do I remember this happening in Romeo and Juliet? It's kind of like a Masked Singer gimmick. If you guys all watch The Masked Singer this season, one of the costumes for Serpent actually moves by itself. I was like, and the spikes are on Sasha Trusova's costume are very similar to the moving parts of Serpent's costume. But anyways, it was more just I am confusion happening.
I am confusion. Me too, because when I first saw it, I was like, she's not skating to Dracula or Addams Family. So what's with this Spidey business? Like, okay, I don't mind the costume, but I don't like the costume for this program in terms of Romeo and Juliet. I was just like, who are we? Are we Romeo? Are we Juliet? Are we Mercutio? Like, who are we? Are we the friar? Like, what's going on here? Like, where are the roles falling? But
oh my gosh. Okay, so in an interview, I remember reading this. She said that she wanted to be neither Romeo nor Juliet. And I was like, but who does that leave, right? Like, is she Tybalt? And then I started thinking, like, if we were to fan cast figure skaters as various Romeo and Juliet characters, who would they be? And then I was like, wait, Zach Donahue? I was trying to fan cast Zach Donahue, but I was like, but he seems like all of Tybalt, Mercutio, and Paris. He could do all of those roles.
He's part of the stage production where they don't have enough actors, and so he plays all of the roles. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this is a very, like, Tybalt cross the vines under Juliet's window. Okay, was it just me, or when she like pulled out the spikes in her costume, did you think that it was a costume malfunction?
I honestly didn't know what the heck was going on because
I thought it was a costume malfunction. I was just like, oh, did something get caught in her spin? But then I was just like, whoa, where did the spikes come from? And then I was just like, oh, okay. It all clicked. I was like, okay, the music change, I get, because, like, the last bit of her music is really, like, gung-ho and, like, spiky, some would say. But
we're really stretching here. We're really stretching.
But I was like, okay, I can understand this if you want to do a costume change. Okay, fine. But the transition was so bad. It was like, because it looked like she was making a mistake. And Eteri Tutberidze would never be so tactless with a costume change. Because Sasha just stands in the middle of the ice and just pulls at her arms where, you know, she releases the thing to, you know, lift up the spikes.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. She releases the Krakens right before her step sequence. But she stands in the middle of the ice and just looks down and doesn't do anything. And I feel like there could be, like, at least Like, she could have done a C-step, previously called a mohawk, but I'm going to say C-step. She could have done a C-step and then like an arm movement and then release the Kraken on her left arm, and then another C-step and then release the Kraken. Like, it could have been choreographed instead of being like, I'm a release the Krakens looking down at the ice and standing still while my music is going and I am in a competition.
No, exactly. I think that just the transition of the costume change just looked kind of, I think there could be things done around it.
Yeah. Other than the costume, though, the real kind of disappointment came with her quad attempts. You know, she fell 4 times and got 6 deductions overall, because if you fall more than twice, you get more deductions. But this was interesting because I thought her quads looked so good in the air. Like, she's got the air position, like, down pat, so good. But the landings, you know, I fear for her ankles. She fell on the quad Lutz at the beginning, that was called under. She fell on the quad sow, but that was called rotated. The quad toe, she fell. And her second quad toe attempt, which was a quad toe Euler triple sow, the quad toe got a Q on her. She eked that one out though. Such good fight from her. But then she fell on the triple Lutz. A triple Lutz. And then her triple flip, triple toe, the triple toe got a Q. Yeah, it was not her day.
Yeah, one of the only successfully landed jumping passes was her double axel triple toe. It was just such an uncharacteristic mistake that she fell on that triple Lutz. I was like, oh, she's fallen again. I was like, what's happening here?
You know what? This just reminded me of when Alina Zagitova went to Worlds after the Olympics and had a shocker of a free skate. Like, this is a one-off thing. 100% this is a one-off thing. Obviously, you know, Sasha would feel so bad because she just wants to get out there and do her jumps. That's what she wants to do. She just wants to skate well. So, yeah, it was just disappointing. And, you know, she finished off the podium for the first time in a long time. So, yeah, I don't know whether the tactic of trying like 4 or 5 quads in the program really paid off, because, I mean, that's what she left Eteri over, was that Eteri wasn't allowing her to do multiple quads because she was like, rather do a clean program with less quads and, you know, really go for the win. But I don't know whether it's, you know, either an off day or the tactic of more quads the better not working.
Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, even after all the jumps were, you know, she fell on so many jumps. When she was doing the step sequence at the very end, there was just like nothing left in the tank, you know, especially like the lines in her lower body or her edges. I was just like, the execution is just not there. And I totally understand. It's understandable after having that many falls and that many deductions. But still, you know, like, if you're going to fall like 6 times, at least kill it in the step sequence, you know, like, you got nothing to lose. But she just looked like she just had like nothing left after that. She looked so defeated. I was like, you're going to be okay, you know, like, but it's hard. I understand, you know, you have 50 million eyes on you, you know, expecting things from you on the ice. There's a lot of pressure, but I was like, you know, just kill the step sequence, you know, that's the least we can do here.
Yeah. But you know what? I think I finally figured out why Sasha doesn't seem to like project outwards when she, like, in her performance and when she delivers choreography. It's because she stares at the ice a lot.
Oh, it's true. She does.
Yeah. So whenever she like does a move, like, her body movements are fine, right? They're standard, they're fine, they're acceptable, they're passable. But her gaze is always down at the ice. She doesn't lift her chin and kind of open up her presentation and all of that, and so it looks very insular. And so even when I guess she's trying to, you know, hit the choreography very nicely, it just doesn't look, what's the word for it, like, doesn't look so energetic or something. But yeah, I mean, I feel for her this competition, because just not her best outing.
Yeah, really not her day. Why don't we move on to our silver medalist, who I just like let out a big sigh, a breath that I didn't know I was holding, if you are into young adult fiction. Why don't we move on to our silver medalist, Alyona Kostorная?
Okay, my skating daughter, Her ISU bio hobbies are not music or dancing or reading. They are horse riding and show jumping.
Maybe she's my skating daughter.
She is both our skating daughter, and she is your daughter's best friend.
If you guys didn't know, if this was like your first episode listening to us, I have a toddler. She's 2 years old, and she's literally obsessed with horses.
And so is Aliona. So let's start off with her short program. It is No Time to Die and You Should See Me in a Crown by Billie Eilish. So she won this short program. And I think I have words about this, because as much as I love her, the judges left a few things out of her protocols. She did her famous triple flip, triple toe combo. That gave me goosies because it was huge. And, you know, as much as we want to see her triple axel back, her double inner bower into double axel is just a clinic. She needs to give us more of that slow-mo so she can school everyone in how to do a perfect double axel.
Maybe she can line up the American pairs to do their side-by-side jumps clinic.
Yeah, there should be an Aliona school where it's Aliona Kostorная and Aliona Savchenko, and just drilling everybody. And then, you know, afterwards they can go, you know, horse riding and show jumping.
Sign me up.
In Germany. Sign me up too. But okay, just let's talk about the triple Lutz. Because in the kiss and cry, during the replay, Aliona herself was watching it and goes, ooh, at the slow-mo, because...
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh, maybe we should...
She could tell that it was, if not, you know, an under rotation, was like a cue. But on the protocols...
A cue, yeah, at least
on the protocols, there was nothing. It was called clean. There wasn't any exclamation mark, even though she's very notorious for having a flat Lutz edge, which she kind of corrected last season, but then this season she changed the entrance to the Lutz, and now it doesn't look like a cleaner, like outside edge. Like, why change that? Anyway, but there was no call. And I was just like, Aliona herself knew. You can see it in her reaction. Like, why wasn't there an under rotation or a cue call? That happened to Sasha. Why not to Aliona? Like, this is very, very clear bad judging.
It's very interesting. Yeah, but like I did also notice that you could see her face. I was like, oh, you notice, judges. There are many of you. Are any of you noticing here? I do also have another positive note that this Billie Eilish program is definitely growing on me. I think that the costume helps. I think she's growing into it. I still don't love the music cuts, but I think that the program is growing on me. I'm very happy about it because I was so hesitant about it at the beginning at test skates. I was like, what is this? Who are you? But it's okay now. I don't mind it.
It's like how her Twilight program started off with everyone just being like, Aliona, what the hell? To everyone, like, at the end of the season going, this is so camp. Yes. We love it.
Exactly. But I do, unfortunately, have those feelings about her free skate. I'm just I am confusion about this free skate. She is, her dress looks like Rapunzel's dress from Tangled. There is also some arm waving and finger pointing choreography. Like, I just don't really know what's happening here.
I don't think this is Shaylin's best work as well. Like, in the step sequence especially, you know, the music, there are accents to the music, obviously. But it just seems slow and not dynamic. Like, the whole, like, dun, 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 da, 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 dun. Like, nothing fast happens. It's like she's waiting for every, like, fourth count. And I'm like, this is a no. This is a no from me. The music cuts are all right.
I think the issue was, like, she had to be pretty near perfect to win here. Because, like, between 1 and 2, there was, like, 2-point difference or something. But unfortunately, just like the combination of the things that she usually really excels in, like the step sequence, like her spins. She had her step sequence downgraded to a level 2. The spins were not fully there. Her legs were not totally straight where they needed to be. I was like, you can do this. Like, this is what people love you for. But it just didn't happen. And I was like, if there is a 2-point difference at the top, you need to be doing these things, right? Like, this needs to happen. And when your step sequence is at a level 2, it just, like, you can get those points. Those points are possible for you to get.
She left a lot of points on the table, and it's not obvious from, just how she skated and like if you're just looking at, what she produced, but she dropped levels in the flying combo spin as well. It was only a level 2. There was a violation in either that spin or something else. Her first triple Lutz was called under. I thought it was under, but they called it, with a Q. Her triple flip, Euler triple sow, both the triple flip and the triple sow got called under. So she got dinged technically. Like, why in the free program and not the short program? Like, I don't know, but those things cost her the gold. And, I think she knew that she didn't skate perfectly. And I think at the end, people thought that, she was expecting the gold, but she said herself that no, she wasn't expecting to win or anything. She was just expecting higher scores, and probably she just didn't realize that she lost out on the levels and all that stuff. So she'll definitely go back to the drawing board and fix those things, because this long program is still relatively new. She hasn't had too much time to sink into it, and we all know that she is somebody who doesn't start off very well at the beginning of the season, and as the season goes on, the programs and her delivery of them gets stronger and stronger. But yeah, I think that also on that day, she looked nervous to me, especially going into the jumps. I think she knew where the scores sat and she knew how Sasha did, but she looked tentative to me.
I think that I definitely think that she looked tentative. I think that we are not like frustrated with her. I think it's just that, these are points that she can get, right? We know that she's going to grow into the program. Like we've said many times before, these skaters a lot of them are learning choreography over Skype, right? Especially if she's working with Shaylin.
Yeah.
Shaylin is not in Russia, right? She's probably learning this choreo over Skype, right? So it makes sense why this program doesn't look totally complete. But and we know, right? Like we said with Sasha Trusova, she's going to be fine. Like, these are points that she can get back. These are levels that she can get back in both the spin and in the step sequence. But it's just like I wanted more for her, because the gold medal was just there for her, 2 points with all these points that she left on the table are very, she could pick up a couple points here and there, right? So many downgrades on her levels. It was just so many points that we know that she can get, right? So that's the frustration for me.
Like we said for everyone, she's going to be fine. Everyone's going like, oh, she doesn't have a triple axel back yet. She doesn't do quads. Like, she's not going to make it. And Aliona has said time and time and time again, pretty much she's playing the long game. They're in her plans. She's never been the one to push something out before it's ready. She's not, one of those Sasha Trusovas or Anna Shepakovas or Kamila Valievas who, once she gets a quad, it's straight out there. I feel like she knows what her game plan is, and very much like Daria Usashova, she's playing the long game. She doesn't want to be too deterred by all the big jumps going on around her, and she wants to focus on her own game and make sure that what she does well and great.
It makes sense. I appreciate it. This is why we love Aliona Kostorная. This is why we love her. And it makes sense. I just think that, obviously this was not her day and she's going to get it back. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Oh, I do have to mention though, in the Kiss and Cry, there was a fan cam of Aliona in the Kiss and Cry, and fans were literally chanting like, Lisa's the best, something along the lines of like, Lisa's the queen. She deserves to win and stuff. Like, chanting at Aliona. I was just like, poor girl.
Oh my gosh, gross. Calm down.
Like,
gross.
The girl gets enough hate as, already. Like, you don't need to shove all of that unnecessary thing in her face. And she said herself, like, she's happy for Elizaveta after all that, Lisa's gone through in her career. She's happy for Lisa. And I believe her, because if you see all of the background videos, they're chatting away and she's, happily joking with everyone. So, like, just pipe down, ladies and gents. Pipe down.
This is like the same shit as like Nathan and Yuzu. Like, they are perfectly fine. All they have to say about each other in interviews is like positive, happy things. They are so honored to be competing with the other person, right? And it's just folks that are just get so irate at directly these skaters, these like young human beings, and just scream things at them, post awful, gross things on their social media. The people who, like, if you're going to get mad at anyone, get mad at the judges, right? Like, these skaters are just out there doing their best. They're not out there trying to deceive anyone. They're not malicious. No one has malicious intentions. Just pipe down. Just no one needs to hear that.
Do you see their tissue box holders? Like, that does not scream malice to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, let's move on to our gold medalist, everybody's empress, Elizaveta Tuktamышева.
Oh my gosh, love her. And also love her triple axles that she had going on here, except for that one in the free skate. But anyways.
But still, they were stunning. The short program triple axel was just, it was gorgeous. I don't know whether you could hear it, but in the short program after she landed the triple axel, you could hear Tatiana Trusova just screaming in the background.
I did not hear that, but I endorse it.
You could hear her scream, and I was just like, that's a mood. That's a big mood.
That's a big old mood. Maybe we could gift that, like Aliona Kostorная throwing her jacket at Eteri. Favorite gif.
Favorite gif. Oh my god, I love that. But only, I think Lisa Tuktамышева and Marisi Kvitvelashvili they could be in the same group chat, because just like how Marisi managed to get a downgrade on his Euler, Lisa does a stunning triple axel, then flubs the triple flip, and then does the triple Lutz double toe.
I mean, first of all, invite me to that group chat. But yes, I also agree.
And the we all know Lisa's triple Lutz is textbook. And so when it comes to the triple flip, she has issues with it because she's used to a great deep outside edge. And this triple flip definitely looked like a wrong edge, like a triple 3FE. Like, if not that, then like give it an exclamation mark. But there was no edge call at all. Zero edge call. And I was just like, girl, judges.
I wonder. Maybe they all removed their glasses after Sasha Trusova.
Maybe they were just blinded by, so Lisa has a new Spartacus costume for a short program, and she has these kind of like, what would you call them, gold thumb fingerless gloves going on? Like, kind of like armor.
Yeah, it's kind of like a glove / intense jewelry going on.
Maybe she just shone them in the judges' eyes and they just blinded them and they were just like, ah. Nonetheless, Lisa's spins have definitely improved and she's got her Bielman back and all of that, so we're really happy for her. But her free program, okay, it's the Chronicles of a Mischievous Bird.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. What makes a bird mischievous? Like, what separates a mischievous bird from an obedient bird? What are the behaviors that qualify birds for these categories?
Maybe we should ask Karen Chen.
She is a bird expert.
She is a bird expert. Maybe Karen Chen should include bird watching in her ISU bio hobbies.
Oh my gosh. And that one skater from Cup of China who also had a bird program.
Oh, yeah.
6 out of 10 birdie. Who was that? I forget.
That was Cheng Hongyi. Even though the birdie type deal lasted for like 15 seconds.
Yes, I agree. So we have one bird expert and one person with bird knowledge. I think that's enough. Maybe between the two of them, they could tell us what qualities.
And Adam
a
Rapon can come in
has.
as a consult.
Oh yeah,
he had a bird program too. Yeah,
phone a friend.
Phone a friend. She opened with a lovely triple axel double toe, her second triple axel. I was like, ugh, because she stepped out of it, but it was clean. It was a good program from her, despite like a few small errors. It was a good program for her, and it was definitely good enough to win the gold. But I truly dislike this costume, Joss. I don't mind her skating to this music. I think she does it well and the choreography is good, but my mum was just like, is she skating to a ghost like music? Like, is she a ghost? And I'm like, No.
I know we just made an Addams Family reference. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the costume here. I don't like it. However, skated well.
She did. And in an interview, blessed Lisa said, "I haven't won anything for a long time. I feel great. I was not nervous in the kiss and cry. I did everything I could. It was like dessert. I calmly waited. I'm shocked. I didn't see how Aliona Kostorная skated, but I did not expect this result." And then to which Alexei Mishin, when he was asked about Lisa, goes, "Praise Lisa? Good wine needs no bush. Write that." Or something like buckwheat porridge needs no bush or something, which pretty much just, it's a Russian proverb saying that like, you don't need to praise something that we already know is good.
I'm going to say that next time someone praises me. I'm going to say buckwheat porridge needs no bush. They'll be like, excuse you? I'm going to do it.
And they're just like, "I don't even know what you mean." I'm like, "Neither do I." But I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. She's 23 and everyone's just like, "Oh my God, she's such a grandma." And I'm like, girl, look at the quad toes she just posted on Instagram a couple of days before Rostelecom.
Oh yeah, she hasn't even brought that out yet.
Just like, okay, all right. I just love her longevity and the fact that she's still here fighting with all these little teen beans, and she's just like, "I don't care. I'm the Empress. I'm going to release a new clothing line called Empress Wear. Like, everybody come love me."
I love Empress Wear. Empress Wear is pretty great.
Me too. That's a wrap up for the event.
Oh, we did it? I feel like I've been talking about this for my entire life. I was like, oh, it's over.
I've said more words than I have, you know,
in the past week.
This past like 1.5 hour than I have in the past week. Exactly. But let's move into our kiss and cry. All right, so for a change, I'm going to be doing the book of the week. I actually forced Josh to let me do this. But this week, we are going to recommend a book called The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and it is in honor of the Empress Lisa Tuktamiseva herself and her Asian-inspired free skate. This is an adult fantasy based around mid-20th century China. We get pulled into a Song Dynasty atmosphere and are faced with a conflict that is inspired by the Second Sino-Japanese War. We follow our main protagonist, Rin, who is a dark-skinned, poor orphan girl from the south, who wishes to escape her less than desirable conditions. She secretly studies for the infamously hard entrance exams for the elite military school, the Sign Guard Academy. After shocking everyone and getting accepted into Sign Guard, Rin gets thrust into a world of politics, bigotry, and shamanism, and must face tough decisions that could impact the brewing war around her, but may also cost her her humanity. With all the Russian politicking and drama that's been ever so rampant this season, this book will sure quench anyone's thirst for more action, history, and culture. And it's a book that rivals the Empress status of our wonderful champion herself, Lisa. Again, this book is called The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Go pick it up. It's a great read.
It's so good. The next book in the series just came out and everyone is swooning about it in the book community. It's so good. I highly recommend the whole series.
So you might have noticed that the books that we have been recommending mostly come from authors of color, and we just really want to give those authors a shout out because their works are amazing, and so everyone just pick it up. Go read.
And also support your local indie bookstores this holiday season.
Exactly.
I cannot say that enough. Please do.
Great Christmas presents that actually can, get there on time because you're actually, supporting your local businesses and you don't have to wait for Amazon to deliver everything. So yeah. Other kiss and cry stuff. Okay. So I think the talk of the week that wasn't really Rostelecom related was Daniil Gleikhengauz's interview on nutrition in Sambo 70 and calling Eteri their nutritionist.
Yeah, I also want to give a content warning before we start talking about this. We will be talking about body image, potential disordered eating behaviors and thoughts. If you are at all sensitive to that, you can skip past this section and move on to our outro and the rest of our kiss and cry. So now is your warning. If you would like to exit, please do so now and fast forward. All right, we're going to proceed with this.
Okay, this was just all sorts of chaos and problematic.
He has put both feet in his mouth and other folks' feet. He has many feet in his mouth.
So if you want to read the whole interview, it's up and translated on FS Gossips. But pretty much, the interviewer was asking about, nutrition and eating and diet within the Sambo 70 and Eteri camp. And, Daniil, being the spokesperson for everything apparently, was like, he was saying like the nice stuff and then just the next sentence just pretty much thwarts everything. Like, for example, he goes like, everything always comes down to the fact that when they have a growing, organism and the most beloved, a transitional age, it's not about eating. The point is that they can eat a whole cake or 200 candies. And, that's where the problem lies. And to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, of course, it's desirable to do this before 6 p.m. It is desirable to distribute everything evenly so that everything is in moderation. And I'm like, sure, but like you go, it's desirable to do this before 6 p.m.?
Oh, this pseudoscience. You are a bro science major, Daniil.
He is a bro science
major. Did you major
major
in bro science? What is happening here?
And there's a lot of things about like, if you want to lose weight, don't eat dinner after 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something. And like,
P.S. that is a total myth.
It is a total myth.
Debunked by RDs and researchers.
Yes. And there's just a whole bunch of, fad things going on. That's like continuing. There's just like, the interviewer was just like, there's a myth that, children are weighed twice a day. And Daniil goes, once, but every day. And you're like, dude.
Oh.
And then he goes like,
Daniil.
The interviewer's like, what can you change? Like, what can change depending on, the weighing result? And Daniil's like, it's the coach's wish to change this weight. But if you had a weight of 47 kilos and you were told that with your height, your weight should be 46.5 kilos for 6 months, then no one says that tomorrow you need to come with a weight of 46.5 kilos. But you've got 7 days to. It's not a big problem to lose weight 100 grams per day. You can do it in a week without the need for any prohibited methods. And I'm like,
does this man have any background in
No.
nutrition or dietetics? Why are we talking about this?
I mean, but Eteri school is famous for like Alina Zagitova and Evgenia Medvedeva at the Olympics. They were told not to drink water, so they can keep their weight down. Because, obviously if you don't carry that much water weight, that weight's not there. But it's just bro science.
It's literally 100% pseudoscience. And I mean, it doesn't surprise me coming from him.
And like the Eteri school, they like the diet pills. It's well known.
Disappointed but not surprised.
Disappointed but not surprised. Like it's not completely hidden, but like we all know it happens.
Yeah, I think my least favorite / maybe most favorite, because it's just so comical, like comically ridiculous, is that the interviewer asked, does your team have a nutritionist? And he was like, oh yeah, it's Eteri. I was like,
Eteri
okay,
has a degree
Eteri, the
in
registered
choreography.
dietitian with her degrees and actual scientific knowledge about nutrition? I think not.
I don't think a degree in choreography had any like nutrition, majors or subjects included.
Perhaps not even a prerequisite.
It was just all like very eye-rolly and just, I don't know, like if Eteri came out and said it, I'd be like, okay, it's Eteri. But like when Daniil says these type of things, I'm just like,
I mean, it doesn't surprise me considering he swapped out Mariah Bell's Free Skate CD and it doesn't seem to have been returned to her yet. P.S. If that is new information to you, it's a total joke and you can listen to our Skate America episode.
yes.
I have a theory. It's
wild.
A humorous theory.
Speaking about humor and comedic elements, last week there was Aliona Kostorная did a piece with Channel 1 and she was reading tweets about herself, a la like Jimmy Kimmel segment, and bless this girl, she's hilarious. There was one tweet going like, oh, should Plushenko change the name of his school from Angels of Plushenkos to like Devils of Plushenkos? And she goes, well, I don't know. Maybe you can say about that about me specifically. But regarding the name of the whole academy, that's up to Evgeny. And I was just like, bless you. She's just like with her angel program from last season, she's just like, yeah, I'm not an angel. Like, I'm probably a devil. And I'm just like, oh, kid,
bless her.
Kid, I love you. There was also like an interview where she was just like, oh yeah, throughout COVID, I was just, trying to keep in shape. So in as far to be able to get myself through a door frame. I was just like, girl.
Oh, please.
And in this same like segment with Channel 1, she was, somebody was just like, oh, Aliona doesn't look very well this season. And she's just like, well, that's someone's personal opinion. It's a subjective sport, yada, yada, yada. And then she goes, now I'm like devoting a lot of time to like my like routine and stuff and other aspects. Previously I went to bed whenever I wanted, and in general, I didn't care. I could stay up all night. And then, now I pay attention to everything. Like the dark circles under my eyes are less visible and the skin is clearer. And now I look less like a corpse. And I was just like, oh, I love you. I love the non kind of media great. Like princess. Oh, she's so great.
She's great.
Is that it for... Oh, no, it isn't it. There's a Russian banquet.
Oh, yeah. There is a Russian banquet. No one is wearing a mask. Everyone is dancing with each other, eating within like 15 centimeters of each other's faces. It is no wonder that everyone and their pets and their moms and their houseplants and Evgenia Medvedeva has COVID in Russia. I just, like, where is the responsibility amidst a global pandemic happening here? I saw that on Lisa Tuchmisheva's Instagram stories that she had posted videos of this banquet, and I was like, why is this even happening? Like, why are we even, like, moving on with the charade that folks are just, like, wearing masks on their chins and then we all go and have a banquet? Like...
You know who would... There are two people, though, who would 100% not be at this banquet, or if they were at this banquet, would be wearing masks. And that is, surprise, surprise, Evgenia Trusova and Vladimir Morozov. Because at Cup of Russia, like, I think it was maybe stage 4, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But on the pairs podium, they kind of made a stand. Nobody else was wearing a mask, and they stood there stone-faced, wearing masks with their medals. And I was just like, because they both got COVID.
You know who else would make a stand for this is Boyang Jin at the Cup of China.
He did.
He was, okay, so he was first, obviously, at the Cup of China. He was going to, quote unquote, shake everyone's hand and congratulate the silver and bronze medalists. Silver medalist Han Yan, fave on the pod. Fave. But he actually went up to Han Yan at a very good 6 feet distance, and air shook his hand. He literally shook his hand in the air, made certain that he demonstrated that he was at an appropriate distance from him. Also went to the bronze medalist and did the same for him. I was like, this is great COVID safety, but there was no great COVID safety to be had at Rostelecom Cup.
Neither was there in any of the Russian Cup events. Like in stage 4, so stage 4 ladies, Sasha won, Aliona was second, Maya Kromik was third. And, Aliona gets up on the podium, doesn't, hug Sasha or anything, and everyone's just like, ooh, cold. And then Maya comes and just goes, yeah, let me give you a hug. And everyone's just like, dude, COVID. And then Aliona was just like, oh, shit, I should probably, quote unquote, hug Sasha. And they tried to, hug with, maximum distance between their faces. And Maya just goes, yeah, I'm just going to walk up and hug everyone. I was just like, COVID.
And of course the media now is talking shit about that hug, right, between Aliona and Sasha, because they're like, they probably don't like each other. I'm like, no, have you forgotten that we're in the middle of the global pandemic? It seems like everyone has forgotten right now. But actually, maybe they don't want to hug each other because they don't want to spread COVID. But apparently no one cares about that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the girls, there are videos of them laughing with each other.
They are fine. The moral of the story of this podcast episode is that Aliona and Sasha will both be perfectly fine.
And everyone else should just mind their own beeswax at certain times. So, just shush.
And Eteri is not a nutritionist in any way.
Really? I thought she was qualified.
I'm so sorry. Nutritionist at Sambo 70.
Okay. This was a gigantic episode, and we are all talked out. I don't think we can talk about this any longer. So, yeah, we're done. We're done.
We are all done. So I am Joss, and you can come and chat with us at Lutz Get Down Pod on Twitter and Instagram. That is LUTZ. And if you want to work with us, shoot us an email at lutzgetdownpod@gmail.com.
I'm Claudia, and if you like this podcast and are here for Revenge of the Empress Lisa, please give us some 5-star love. We'd really, really appreciate it. Thanks y'all for listening. Talk to you later.
Bye.